Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world. Talk about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. Well, it's been a few days now since that just ridiculous game in Denver against the Broncos, and it doesn't really feel much better. It just looks like a team that's pulling in two different directions. And I don't know, man. I'm hearing these things running around in my head, and I'm trying to piece it together. Like, what is actually going on here? Because there's certain times where I'm looking at this offense and I'm like, wow, that was a very, very well designed play. And then I'm looking back and I'm like, why can't we just continue that? It's not like offensive coordinators get lucky and they just happen to just draw up a play that works. I mean, they have to work at it. They have to know why a play is going to work. They have to know how to leverage a defense for a play to be successful. So why can't they be consistent with it? And I'm thinking back to myself and I'm thinking, okay, not giving Chip Kelly any passes or any benefit of the doubt or anything like that, but the guy's been an offensive coordinator or a head coach slash offensive coordinator for the past 20 years. He's got to know something, right? And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, okay, what is different? What is different from what he's had in the past and what he has now? And what is linked to something that's not working? Well, first off, the Raiders all around just aren't working. At 2-7, you can't say, well, they're close. No, they're not working. I hear what Pete Carroll says over and over again, blah blah blah. We're fighting, we're working hard, we're getting close. And that very well may be the case in some perspective, but overall, right at this moment, it's not. And it's one of those things where, kind of like the Lions a few years ago when they were like really bad and then they won the last few games of the year and they're okay. The next season they started winning a lot of games. It's rough until it gets better. And I can understand that a couple of things on this team are working. The effort level is there. All right. The team is fighting hard. The defense, now that it looks like Patrick Graham is running his style of defense, especially against the Broncos at least, it's working, or that worked. And I have to think myself, I sat back and I'm like, okay, what happened to this defense that made it work? And I took a step back and I thought, and it just hit me. Pete Carroll stepped back. Pete Carroll stepped away, right? Pete Carroll said, okay, we don't have to run exclusively a cover 3 and a cover 2 zone defense. We can play a different defense. Does anything have to play into that with Lonnie Johnson coming back? Sure, maybe. I think he's a big piece in that secondary, but I don't think he's the determining factor. I think this team could have played more of a Patrick Graham style defense this whole entire year with similar results than what we saw against the Broncos the entire season. So, okay, that got me thinking. Pete Carroll took a step back, presumably, because they weren't running the Pete Carroll quote-unquote style defense against the Broncos. So it got me thinking, maybe Pete Carroll has too much of an influence over the offense. So I'm thinking to myself, what are the two big problems that we have on this offense? Pete Carroll's homeboy and Geno Smith at quarterback, and Pete Carroll's son coaching this abysmal offensive line. And I'm like, wow, it really hit me. Pete Carroll needs to take a step back from the offense. He needs to take a step back from the defense and needs to coach this team as a head coach, as a CEO style head coach. Let Chip Kelly do what he wants to do. If the players aren't working, if the players aren't fitting, you have to go with a different guy. I don't think that Chip Kelly is married to the fact of having Geno Smith as his quarterback. I think that's more of a Pete Carroll thing, always pushing. He sent Geno Smith back in there, obviously, when he couldn't run. You're playing the team that's probably going to break the record for sacks in a season, all right? You're playing a team that's that good sacking the quarterback, and you're putting your struggling 36-year-old quarterback who has basically one leg back on the field. Either you have this just supreme confidence in Geno Smith, or you're delusional what Geno Smith can do even when he's healthy. Either that or you have zero confidence in Kenny Pickett whatsoever, which is why is he on the team then? I understand you spent a 5th-round pick on him, but if you have no confidence in him, you might as well put Cam Miller in there. But, man, it really did hit me. The game that Pete Carroll took a step back was when the defense took a step forward. Now I'm looking at this offense and I'm thinking to myself, man, what does Pete Carroll have in as far as invested or control or influence over this offense? Well, it's his offensive line coach to his son, Brendan Carroll, and Geno Smith is a handpicked quarterback. Both of those guys aren't working out really well. And I'll tell you something right now. It seems to be there's going to be a civil war going on in Raider Nation. And I don't think it's going to be, one side, like North versus South or anything like that. I think it's going to be the offense versus the defense. Let me rephrase that. The defense versus the offense. Because I know that the defense has to be tired of all the things that they've been doing. Because, look, you take a look at a lot of these games, even the games they've gotten blown out, it's not that the offense is killing it and the defense gives up a lot of points. No. It's the defense is holding themselves, holding things in check. And then at the end of the game, you get, an offensive explosion by the opposite team because the defense is tired. They've been out there for so dang long. And it's got to take a toll on these guys. And as a matter of fact, I know it's taking a toll on these guys. Let's hear what Adam Butler had to say after the game against Denver on Thursday night to the local affiliate Fox 5. Now, I can only play the audio, so I'm just going to put a picture up there of Adam Butler because the local affiliates like to pop my videos. But listen to this response from Adam Butler about the offense. Just listen.
Raiders defensive lineman Adam Butler after the 10-7 loss in Denver. And when its defense holds the Broncos to 10 points, it's got to be frustrating that you guys aren't coming out of here with a win.
Yeah, it is. It's very frustrating. I don't really know what to say about it. I'm proud of the defense and what we did. I can't really speak for the other side.
It was one of those games where the defense has really controlled the action in there, and it looked like you guys were knowing that you were going to be the ones that had to make the play to put you guys over the top.
I mean, yeah, that's what we did, man. We got a couple turnovers. That's our job. Our job is to put the ball back in their hands. What they do with it is what they do with it.
Where's this team at mindset-wise? Because, 2 weeks in a row, close, but bottom line, you got to win in the NFL. Where's this team at right now, head-wise?
I mean, we just had a conversation as players after the game, and we're just determined to keep working, but we're determined to make a change. Something's got to change, something's got to give, and we're challenging each other to look ourselves in the mirror, and really dig deep about what we got to fix and what we got to get better.
Tough night for the Raiders here in Denver. Next up, the Cowboys come to Allegiant Stadium for Monday Night Football. Back to you.
Oof. All right. So let's break this down. Adam Butler is a guy that earlier this preseason, he didn't like a line of questioning, and he told the reporter, I don't like your question. I'm not going to answer it. And it was very direct. He said, I don't understand that question. I don't like it. I'm not going to answer it. So this guy is not a guy that's going to mince words. This guy is very direct. Whether you like it or don't like it, this guy's going to tell you exactly how he feels. So when he tells you he's very proud of the defense, he can't speak on the other side of the ball, you could only interpret that as our offense sucks and we're getting tired of it. Okay? And then he said, we got the ball back twice. That's what our job is, to get the ball back to the offense. What they do after that is on them. That's another kind of slight at the offense. Like, yo, man, we're giving you the ball back. What are you guys doing with it? And then, as far as having that, I guess it was an impromptu players meeting where they're like, we're going to still keep working hard and still, doing our best and working hard, but something's got to change. Now, it doesn't seem like anything has to change on the offense. Defense, excuse me. Something's got to change on the offense. What can change on the offense that hasn't been changed? Let's take a look at the two areas that Pete Carroll is affecting on this offense. Quarterback in Geno Smith. Geno Smith, I don't know that he has a very long leash, because I think that I'm pretty positive that if Pete Carroll keeps throwing Geno Smith out there with these types of results, the team is going to turn on Pete Carroll. Now, the team can galvanize together, but say, Pete, we don't trust you because what you're saying is lip service. You're talking about competing in competition, the best guy for the job, and you're continuing to throw your guy out there when he's not performing. Could it be Aiden O'Connell coming back from injury? Could be. Could it be Kenny Pickett? Could be. Could it be Cam Smith or Cam Miller? Excuse me. Not Cam Smith. If Cam Smith is related to Geno Smith, I don't want any part of that. Could it be Cam Miller? Could be. So you got to think to yourself, what does Adam Butler mean when he says there has to be a change? I think all of us can understand what that means, because this offense has been sorely letting this team down, especially this defense. I don't want to get too much into the special teams right now because special teams coordinator is out. So the change for special teams has been made. Special teams coordinator Tom McMahon is out. There should be a new special teams coordinator coming in. We should see some improvement in that, maybe some changes in the lineup and the personnel. But ultimately, what we need to look at is what has gone wrong with this team so far. How has that been fixed? And what else is going wrong with that same problem? And it's Pete Carroll and his involvement on both sides of the ball. Pete Carroll should have no part of this offense. He should tell Chip Kelly that he wants to do certain things game plan wise, but personnel wise and stuff like that, Brendan Carroll's got to go. Okay, I gave him plenty of time. I gave him plenty of time to see what he can do. This offensive line is abysmal. When you have backups that are so much worse than the starters, and the starters are not great to begin with, that's coaching, man. That's coaching. You have to be able to get your guys coached up and ready to play. The fact that these rookies went out there and were still playing like it was their first, second game in the NFL because they didn't have a lot of run and a lot of snaps and a lot of experience, that's coaching as well. Something needs to change, man. And Adam Butler said so himself. If you want to know how bad things need to change, this is your enthusiastic, game-breaking first-round pick, Ashton Jeanty, during the game. Look at that face. You've seen this. You've seen this slowly morphing into this week after week of Ashton Jeanty having all these post-game scrum interviews and how bad he was looking. Worse, he was looking more and more defeated every single week. And look at his face on Thursday night. And look at the caption. 1 interception the Raiders had, 1 block punt, 9 penalties, 1 missed field goal, 1 touchdown negated by penalty. Look at that face. This is your enthusiastic number 6 overall, happy to be drafted, jumping up and down, waving his hat in the air, jumping up and down, dancing, waving his jersey in the air. He's so happy to be a Raider. Look at his face now. This is what this coaching staff has done to this young man. Something's got to change. And it's not my voice. It's Adam Butler's voice. And I'm telling you something right now. If Adam Butler is saying it, that means the entire defense is thinking it. All right, guys, that's my time for today. Really appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's the next way to support the channel. It's absolutely free. And it's the bare minimum you can do to support the channel besides doing nothing to watch the video. On top of that, we have the Shield Society. Shield Society is great, man. It's $5 a month. It's a membership. Get a lot of perks. Join to find out. You get exclusive attention from the watch party. You also get a chance to be on the watch party yourself to give your takes and all that good stuff. On top of that, you get the videos as soon as I make them. You get to get them. Yeah, man. And while supplies lasted, I gave out some freebies to the Shield Society members. Those are gone. I may have some other giveaways in the future. But yeah, man, if you want to do it and you can do it, great. I'd love to have you. If not, you don't want to do it, that's fine too. I'm still giving you a video every single day. All I ask in return is that you tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your mamas, tell everybody. Raiders versus the world is the greatest thing going in Raider Nation today. All right, guys, that's my time. Till next time, everybody. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation. Thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.